Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another live stream brought to us here by the wonderful folks at StreamYard. We are the Morgan Podcasting Network. This particular show that you're viewing right now, whether on YouTube or here on Facebook Live, we appreciate you. Maybe you're catching up on the podcast on whatever podcast platform later. We also appreciate that. But we talk about sports here, sports that involve balls. We talk about them much the way you do when you sit around with your friends having brews, thus the name Balls and Brew, right? In the podcasting game, it's all about having an interesting name. That's the one we came up with. The only way we can have a podcast is because we need someone to take all of the great nuggets that we give you and put them together and edit them and send them out into the world. And the person that does that for this and every other show on the Morgan Podcasting Network is our executive producer and sometimes host of this show, host of our wrestling show, all around great guy, James Thomas Jamriska. Jimmy, hello.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Listen, this is NFL season. It's where I really do everything I can to ruin fan bases' seasons. I'm excited about it. I'm so excited about it.
That's right. Listen, I wanted to give people an overall view of who we are. Maybe they're tuning in for the first time because this is when we do our best work. The NFL season, we tend to be able to broadcast at a more regular clip. We will have shows for you every Thursday night, probably right around the same very time. The podcast will come out for you sometime on Friday, maybe early Saturday morning, but we promise to have it out for you if you're a podcast listener before the games are played, because we have a football handicapper who is not to be beat. I promise you, he is not to be beat. You can have your guys out there that are making the big dollars, but give me the guy that does it for the love of the game and for just his own personal bank account. He doesn't need a huge contract from one of these sport books, one of these podcasts, from one of these networks. He's a regular guy like you and me. He's our football handicapper. We're going to get to him in a second, though. The second person I introduce on this podcast network in this podcast is my longtime friend. He's joined us from North Carolina. He's joined us for eons and eons and eons. This is like the fifth podcast he's done in his life, but we're happy to have him now. He's our guy, Chris King. Chris, hello.
What is up, gentlemen? It is week one. It is the week where, whether or not Jimmy has jinxed you yet, but every fan base has a chance. Every team has a chance. It's week one. Everything's equal. Let's go.
You are rocking your Cowboys hat. I love it. Chris has declared himself the year of the fan. His Super Bowl pick is the Cowboys versus the Colts. He wants to just be a fan this year. We love it. That's the energy Chris is bringing to the football shows. I'm going to make crazy references to movies and TV shows from the 90s and the 80s that no one really cares about. I'm going to make bad puns. I'm going to talk about Tom Cruise insanely too many times. I'm going to get angry about things. Jimmy, what else can the people expect from me? You're my editor of all of these years.
A lot of Mr. Williams. Don't circle back. Stop circling back. Williams, you're no selling my jokes. Why are you no selling my? See, he doesn't even listen to me. He just goes. That's what you're going to get.
That's true. And speaking of that, our handicapper, the man who does the work, he makes the picks every week. He's going to give you 3 picks every week. We're going to keep track of them. And I promise you, by the end of the year, you're going to be making money. Mr. Williams has made money for you on this podcast, way more than he's lost it. Sometimes he'll sneak in a fantasy nugget. Sometimes he'll give us a great future. But what he's absolutely going to do is make wonderful bets that he doesn't tell any of us about. And then weeks later, he will let us in on that bet. Mr. Williams, hello.
What's going on, boys? I'm going to try and get out some good bets for everybody this year. How about that?
You always do. I kid because I care, as I always say. So we will try to follow a spine, a format during the regular year. I believe something we will check in on constantly will be our wins pool. Jimmy, I'm going to assign that to you, but I have a feeling you already knew anyway that you're going to be keeping track of that wins pool, because quite frankly, you want to, because you believe you are going to win back-to-back after taking our NBA wins pool, don't you?
Oh, I know I'm not going to. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm fine.
All right.
I'll be the last one.
You will be updating that for the people as we go along. I will be bringing an NBA staple to the NFL side. If you listen to me, Chris, and Jimmy talking about the NBA every week, something makes me a little bit angry, and I bring that to you in a segment I call Rod Nation. So we will bring that to the NFL side this year, I've got quite a doozy cooked up later. There may be a reason that I'm wearing my throwback Colts 18 jersey. And Chris, I know you still have a few things in the lab. Do you have a hint, a clue, an answer for the people of what they can expect from you week to week?
I'm an old man, Rod. I know how to keep things under lock and key. Nothing's getting out of this vault.
There we go. You got to wait till week 2 for Chris's special thing. Mr. Williams, I see here on the text message that you typically send to us just hours before we record because you don't like to give us too much of a chance to be able to catch up to your level of knowledge. And I love that out of you. But then you don't know which game I'm going to make you go to first. That's another one of the added fun, spicy elements here. There's no stinking way that we are talking about the first game that you sent me in the text message right now. We are saving that one till third. I might not even let you get much stuff in about that game. We are going to go to the headliner game of the weekend, quite frankly. The headliner game of the weekend, I'm going to call it. You can have your Chiefs and Ravens, which are actually playing right now while we are recording. But the game that happens Friday on Peacock is a game I'm incredibly excited to see. And Mr. Williams, I'm pumped to see that you wanted to talk about it, but then I remembered, of course you do, because Kyle Shanahan, your sainted one, is involved on the other side. Jets Niners. What do you got?
Wait, that's the Monday night game.
Is that Monday night? I thought that was the Friday Peacock game.
That's Philly and Green Bay in Brazil.
Green Bay.
Oh, all right. Well, there we go. I had my dates wrong, but the game is still the same. Let's talk about that one.
Okay, yeah, man. So in the 7 years that I have been a Kyle Shanahan fan since he became head coach, this Monday night will be the hardest I root against the 49ers this year. That's right. I'm taking the Jets plus 4.5 on Caesars at San Fran. This feels like to me like a big sigh of relief from like Niners fans that they finally signed Brandon Ayuk, that they finally have Trent Williams in the building. Are these guys really going to be up to speed in just a couple of days here? And honestly, the Niners went to the Super Bowl last year and lost. What's the priority here with this particular veteran-laden Niners squad to get up for an out-of-conference game in week 1? To me, they have bigger fish to fry. They're trying to make it to the finish line healthy. Heck, they just had their rookie wide receiver draft pick get shot in the chest, for Christ's sake. Now, on the other side, oh, baby, you've got a hungry chip on their shoulder New York Jets team. You've got Robert Saleh coming back and going against his former team. You've got Aaron Rodgers coming off a huge Achilles injury, going up against his childhood favorite team where he grew up in San Francisco. He's hearing he's too old. He's washed. The Jets can't do it. They're the Jets. Their history says they can't do this. Well, let me tell you something, brother. The Jets can do it. They've got a great D-line. They've got great linebackers. They've got possibly the best secondary in the league. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter. They've upgraded their offensive line. They have a top 5 running back. They have a top 10 wide receiver. They brought in a great red zone threat in Mike Williams. The Jets can do this, and they're getting 4.5 points. 63% of the money is coming in on the Jets. This is a Monday night game that I cannot wait for. Jets and Niners. It pains me going against Shanahan, my first pick of 2024, but that's what I'm doing. Jets plus 4.5.
Williams, if the 49ers can't get up for a home opener, a season home opener against anybody, that spells real trouble for the rest of the season, doesn't it?
I mean, possibly, but I still think that they have bigger fish to fry. I mean, I think the Jets are going to be way more up for this game. They're looking at the future schedule, and I think that they could, if they see that they can get this game in San Francisco, they're gonna start putting some wins together and put some pressure on the AFC. The AFC is tougher than the NFC. I just feel like the Niners Super Bowl hangover. Rod's talked about this before, man. Like these teams 4-20 against the spread. The last 24 years are the Super Bowl losing teams against the spread. 4-20 in the season openers.
Now listen, you made the bold prediction of the Jets go 17-0. All right. So let's say the Jets get this game. Let's say the Jets get this game. All right. And let's say the Jets get 3 to 4 to 5 more wins, right? And they're sitting there 6-0. At what point are you going to start trying to take the shelter of the wild take and say, no, I told people this was going to happen. How hard are you going to try to own that you maybe called this at the beginning of the season if they go to like 7-0, Williams? That's my question for you right now.
Well, it's interesting because if they beat the Niners here, they're going to have like an emotional letdown week 2, you would think, but they play against what is perceived to be a bad team in the Titans. So that's a dangerous game right there.
Look
And
out,
then
Will Levis. Look out for Will Levis, baby, chucking bombs.
And then they play a net rest disadvantage game the next week against the Patriots. But if you're gonna play anybody on net rest disadvantage, it's the Patriots. So I will not say anything with this Jets team. So I'm going to try and ride this train as long as possible, and it's probably better that I keep my mouth shut with the streak possibly going there. 170-1 on FanDuel to go undefeated.
That's right. You're not going to say much about it at all because you actually have real life skin in the game. All right, that's another Williams staple. I get that. Jimmy.
That's a crazy long shot, though. I just want people to say.
Like, there we go. There we go. Now he's running back. Now he's running back under the shelter of the hot take and the crazy long shot. Now he's running back onto that. Jimmy, I think we have something else we're gonna need to do. I think we're gonna need, like, I know you can get fancy graphics up here every once in a while, and I'm not calling for one now, but we might need a net rest disadvantage counter, right? And you just hit that thing, because it certainly sounds like Williams is going to be pounding that theme as we go along. He likes the Jets in this game. Jimmy, who do you like?
I actually kind of like the Jets too. Sorry, Williams, you're going to lose this bet. The 49ers have had a weird offseason. Ayuk is just finally going to, coming in and playing, but there's a lot of animosity there as well. Purdy is the last season that he has before he becomes a $60 million man. Perhaps if he has a good season, you never know. So I think there's a lot more on the Niners, pressure on the Niners here. I am nervous about Rodgers for sure. He hasn't played in a year. One series is more than you got out of him last year.
Is that the only thing that makes you nervous?
I have no other concerns about Aaron Rodgers at all. No, I'm good. Nope.
He's none whatsoever. There's certainly not any other weird story that could possibly come out that enthralls that engages. I don't know. I lost the word there. Chris, what do you think? I think Jimmy's talking about vibes here, right? He's talking about vibes. What do you think about this matchup?
I don't like the 49ers, Rod. I don't want them to ever win.
He's the fan. He's the voice of the fan, folks. We warned you, and here he goes.
Right? So, of course I want the Jets win. Plus, I have some Aaron Rodgers stock in fantasy football league, so I need him to perform well. So, give me all the Jets love as well.
Plus you have the Jets in the wins league. You stole the Jets
do.
from me. One pick ahead of me.
Jimmy, Chris is, listen, chef's kiss. Chris has somehow outfoxed me on a podcast network I call the Morgan and made this podcast more about him than I even make it about myself. Kudos to you, Chris King.
Good work, brother. I love Chris because he is a true fan. Like, he's you can't talk to him rationally about a lot of things because he doesn't know they exist yet. But especially his fandom. You cannot talk to him. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, and you guys are wrong about the game of the week, too. That's what we should be talking about next, and that is the Rams and Lions. That's the game of the week.
See, now he just took over hosting duties and right. I mean, goodness gracious.
Wow.
There's like a bloodless coup happening on the podcast right now. This is amazing. Williams.
A one-person coup. I like it.
Williams, go ahead. Chris just led us right there. You got it, brother.
Yeah, so normally I tend to lean towards underdogs in these games, but I am not going with the underdog here. I'm going Detroit -4.5. You can find that -106 on FanDuel. And check this stat out, man. Jared Goff, 7-0 against the spread in his career in season openers. Who would have guessed that? And indoor golf, maybe that's a whole other thing here. Indoor golf is 25-9 against the spread the past 3 seasons.
What is that? Is that like one of those deals where they have like a lot of black light paintings on the wall and they have a bunch of like neon stuff for you to, and your balls neon, and it's one of those like cosmic golf situations? Is that what you just said? Indoor golf or indoor golf? Which one was it?
Yeah, we need some special graphics for that. Indoor golf, 25-9 against the spread the past 3 seasons. Yeah, listen, they retain offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Numerous publications have the Lions offensive line ranked as the very best in the league, and Goff is a top 10 quarterback when playing indoors behind that O-line. The Rams last year, 28th in yards allowed per rush before first contact and 23rd in sack rate all that with the best defensive tackle to ever play the game in Aaron Donald. Now Aaron Donald is no longer there. Then the vastly underrated green dot linebacker Ernest Jones just got traded last week to the Titans. I don't think this Rams defense is going to be very good this year. Ben Johnson's going to use a ton of pre-snap motion. He's going to use and abuse these slow coverage linebackers on the Rams. And the Rams are extremely banged up for a week 1 game, man. Cornerback Darius Williams was really, really good for them last year, but he's been dealing with a lingering hamstring injury. He's questionable for the game. Tre'Davious White comes over from the Bills, but he's not 100%. He's coming off 2 major injuries the last 2 years. The Rams left tackle is suspended. The right tackle is dealing with a shoulder injury, but they're moving him to center over the last week. Their center is moving to left guard. The right tackle is on the injury report with an ankle injury. But this O-line is more banged up for a week 1 than normal. And it's very tough to run on Detroit, even more so now that they got big run stuff for DJ Reader from the Bengals. Last thing here, 62% of the tickets are on the Rams. So the public's on the Rams. 65% of the money is on the Lions here, laying the 4.5 points. Give me Detroit on Sunday night. That crowd is going to be rocking. I don't see how this Rams defense stops this Lions offense on Sunday night.
Okay, 2 things. A, who's the old man on the podcast? Did you just say publications? Are these actual like magazines, or do you mean websites that have these offensive lines ranked, right? So who's the old man of the podcast? And number 2, what in the world is a green dot linebacker?
Yeah, so he's like the quarterback of the defense. He gets the play calls, and now they just lost that guy last week. That is calling their plays defensive. That is a huge thing that they have to replace. Plus, Ernest Jones was a good linebacker. He's with the Titans now. I'm telling you, this Rams defense, the market is not adjusting to how bad this Rams defense is going to be this year.
I absolutely love that you told me I have to keep Puka Nacua as a fantasy wide receiver, and you just completely trashed everything about the Los Angeles Rams right there.
The defense. They're going to be playing from behind. They're going to be
they should be throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy Jam, I went to you first last time. I'll go to Chris first about this game. Chris, you're a big Detroit supporter. What do you got?
Yeah, Detroit. Of course, I'm going Detroit. It's a home opener at Ford Field. I mean, Goff is going to want some revenge against the Rams. Like, there's already history there. Let's just get this over with. We know what's going to happen, all right? This is Detroit's year. They're going to get to the NFC Championship game. We know this.
Like, I can't. Now I'm stuck on a whole thing where I'm imagining the scene from Step Brothers in my head. And instead of them saying Pam and Pan, it's Goff or Golf. I'm sorry. Did you say Goff or Golf? Oh, I think I can clear up the whole Golf or Goff situation. Like, I can't stop thinking about that. Jimmy, save me. What do you got on this game?
I kind of agree with Williams. I did hear about that green dot linebacker, and I think that the Lions just have way too much right now. Look for my boy Montgomery to get at least 1 touchdown too down on the goal line. We need that.
So nobody's going to bring it up here. Nobody is going to bring it up. The curse of Applebee's. Nobody's going to bring up the curse of Applebee's with Dan Campbell here. I mean, we have history and eons to look back upon about people who associate themselves with Applebee's and then things don't go well. Now, Dan Campbell, shout out to you. You seem to have phenomenal stage presence for an NFL head coach there in that commercial, but come on, I'm a little worried about eating good in the neighborhood, which actually is not possible at Applebee's, but Dan Campbell is supporting them. Chris, there's no way you've eaten it at Applebee's in like 30 years. You can't be for this.
Oh, yeah, listen, I'm an old man, Rod. I eat at Applebee's on my own at like 4:30 in the afternoon, all right?
Applebee's, I'm sorry. Come at us. You have somebody right here who is happy to do reads for you. You could proudly support the Balls and Brew podcast. Jimmy, what do you think the chances are of the Applebee's people getting after us after what I said?
About as good as the Mountain Dew people getting after us, honestly.
See, that's not fair, though, because I say nothing but glowing things about Mountain Dew. But you're right that they won't ever come after us because we don't have an audience that we can advertise to them whatsoever. But we do have sterling content. And let's continue with that sterling content and talk about an absolute turd of a football game. An absolute turd of a football game. And
Yikes.
I am the voice of every man, okay? I'm not a complete football nerd. I'm not going to talk about rest differential and the coordinator and the green dot linebacker. I'm going to talk to you about football on the way you watch it. Entertainment, on your television screen. And this is a turd of a game. If you are tuning in to Saints v. Panthers for any extended period of time, there's probably trouble at your household. All right. There's probably trouble at your household if you are choosing to spend any part of your Sunday watching that game. I feel sorry for the folks in your former home of North Carolina, Chris. I imagine they will be a little bit better at football, maybe, but what do the people say about the owner, Chris? I know you're not there anymore, but what do the people say about the owner? Do they even have hope for this team anymore?
So not even fans in Carolina are going to tune into this game, I'm afraid. I will say this, though, Rod. I think the Saints fans get a pass. They're allowed to watch their team, all right, no matter who is on their schedule. They have to watch them play Carolina twice
watch Derek
this year.
Carr. I have nothing against New Orleans Saints other than they beat the Colts in the Super Bowl, but they have to watch Derek Carr dink and duck and check down and avoid hits. Williams, come on, church up this pig. What do you got for us?
You know,
I don't think church up this pig is a saying anybody's ever said.
What?
It is now.
What is that?
You know, if I'm giving you this turd of a game, that I've got some awesome trends here. Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers +4, -110 on MGM. I'm taking the team who did not lead for a single second in the fourth quarter last year. Yes, that's how I like to be, man. Contrarian. They spent over $100 million on the interior of the O-line. Did they overspend? Yeah, sure. They overspent. The new DC comes in. He's from
Listen,
the
to
Big
be
Fangio
fair,
tree.
the guy that David Tepper stopped to yell at the convenience store told him that they should probably get this one right guard, and he listened to him. All right. So, I mean, to be fair, you know, I mean, Zeke, right? I mean, he's owned that store for a long time. We should listen to Zeke. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. And hey, man, the Saints offensive line is probably the worst it's been in over a decade. Week 1 road dogs who didn't make the playoffs last year, 90, 59, and 5 against the spread, who didn't make it the previous year. That's over.
You didn't know? I'm sorry.
That's over 60% winning clip there. And another pick from previous that goes with that trend is the New York Jets. So double good there. Road divisional dogs, 70% against the spread in the last 10 years. 70%. The market is way too low on these teams. And how about Dennis Allen? Let's try to fade Dennis Allen whenever we can. As a favorite, 8-16 against the spread. How about Derek Carr as a favorite of more than 3 points? 30% against the spread in his career, and that sample size is over 30 games. That's not a small sample size. The Panthers are getting 62% of the money that's coming in on this game. And finally, Chris said something about the Saints fans. I don't know, man. The Athletic did a survey. Whose fans were the least optimistic fan base going into the 2024 season? You would think it would be the team that did not lead for a single second in the fourth quarter the previous year. But no, it was not the Carolina Panthers. It was actually the Saints. These fans have an idea what's coming in 2024, and they are less than thrilled about it, Rod. The Saints fans down on the Saints team. Give me Carolina +4 on Sunday, rocking the NFL Sunday ticket week 1. You know you want to watch some Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints week 1, Rod.
No, there is absolutely zero chance that I will watch any of this football game. And as you have prone to say, right, sometimes you got to hold your nose when you go up to the window, right? Like nobody wants to make this bet, but it might be the safe bet. As I said at the top of the podcast, people win with you more often than they lose. Jimmy, I ask you this. I was more of a fan of Road Dogg in the WWE as Road Dogg. I didn't like him as much when he went over to TNA and he became Road Divisional Dog. I didn't understand what the name meant. I wasn't sure what it was as a wrestling gimmick. It just wasn't a thing for me. I don't know how you feel about it, though.
All right, so listen, I got the net rest disadvantage. All right,
Oh,
I got that done. I got the church up this pig. I got that going. We're churching up this pig. Okay, so now I need the road. What do we need? The road disadvantage dog? What is going on here?
The Road Divisional Dog. The Road Divisional
Love a Pete,
Dog.
people. I'm only one man.
But Chris said it earlier, all right? In our pre-show text communication, Chris said that the journey we will go on this season will reveal itself during the show. And Chris, apparently we're churching up pigs. That's what we're doing. That's what's revealed itself to us.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, he had to church up this pig real good because he went a long way around to avoid picking his so-called team, the Browns, against my boys. They're 2.5-point favorites. Why are you scared to pick the Browns here, Williams? I thought you were trying to have some backbone to your picks this year. I think you went a long way around and churched up a pig to avoid talking about the Browns this week.
And you just went a long way around to talk about a game we didn't even say we were talking about. Again, just completely derailing and taking the podcast for your own. What is happening?
He wants to talk about the Cowboys. I stayed away from the Browns because they've had some offensive line shuffling going on recently. So staying away from that game.
Listen, that's fine. I'm not even going to make a pick in this game. All right. I'm not even going to make a pick in this game. I don't care about this game. Williams, I hope that you get a correction here, right? I hope that you get to add this to your tally. And by week 6, you got a 65% winning percentage. I mean, I hope all that's true, but I also hope that no one watches this football game. So let's move off from it right now. Something I'm going to bring to you every week will be Rod Damnation. We have to do something about this situation. The momentum is dying. I don't understand no more distractions, but I do believe we should all follow one path in life. Hubris and ego and pride. Sorry, all that was a complete lie, okay? I'm not going to just pick out a player that dropped a touchdown pass, right? I don't know anything about playing football. I don't understand how much work had to go into it or how hard it was to do any of that stuff. No, that's not who I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about maybe coaches, maybe players, maybe fans. You know what I mean? People that just make bad decisions, do bad things, right? I'm not going to get mad at somebody for a mistake. I'm going to get mad at somebody for a bad take, a wrong way of thinking about something, a taking the easy way out, a avoiding the question and not actually saying anything, which we are plagued with across all of sports media these days. Case in point, Patrick Mahomes, before tonight's football game, asked 3 different pretty good questions by Melissa Stark, the sideline reporter, and Patrick Mahomes proceeded to answer, I don't know, football's pretty fun. We're just excited to go out and play. All 3 answers basically said the exact same thing. Is that Patrick Mahomes' fault? Is that the media aggregators' fault? Is that the fault of people who just get angry no matter what you say these days? I don't have an answer for any of that, but I know that it's becoming bland football. And what I have to bring Rod Damnation up this week and who I have to put under the microscope for a little bit of scorn is the man whose jersey I am wearing right now, Peyton Manning, number 18. Peyton, you're getting beat by Tom Brady once again. You are forcing me to root for what Tom Brady is doing in his post career over what you are doing in your post career. Because Peyton, my guy, who was incredibly an executioner of standards in Indianapolis, offensive linemen have stories about how they had to know the entire playbook inside and out, not just a playbook for a team coming up that week. They had to know every single play. Nobody worked as hard as Peyton Manning. And now he's retired. He doesn't want to put in any work. He's fine filming a 10-minute fake Broadway musical where the whole thing is not funny and it's just 35 cameos with how many famous people can I get on the horn and come over here. And from week to week, I'm just going to sit on my couch in my garage and watch the football game like you with my brother and not really say anything that's insightful, not really have a take, not really let people in on anything. I'm just going to be bland and try to be entertaining and do stupid commercials. Meanwhile, Tom Brady is out there going on shows, having takes, ready to broadcast football games week to week, to have to crunch film, to have to know the guys that are playing, to have to be on a live microphone for 3.5 hours every week and be prepared to say something insightful, funny, all of the above. Meanwhile, Peyton's sitting on a couch cracking wise with his brother. Come on, 18. You're better than that. Stop with these dumb Omaha videos. They're just not that funny. And in a social media world where somebody in their couch can put together a video just that good, minus the cameos, you're wasting your time trying to play in those circles. Be Charles Barkley, Peyton. Go on TV and prove to everybody that you know football and you're a guy they all want to hang out with, just like Charles has. He goes on TV and he says exactly what is on his mind, and America's loved him for it. Peyton, you go on TV and say absolutely nothing. Put in the work, 18.
That is one of the most insane takes I've ever heard Rod give on Rod Damnation.
Ever.
You're essentially mad at the guy for being retired and enjoying retirement.
He's not retired.
However,
He has a huge contract with ESPN where he's supposed to put together television products. He's not retired.
okay, he's retired from football, his chosen profession. All right. These outside professions are just people throwing money at him to do things. And ESPN is going to continue to throw money at him, whether he's putting in extra work or not. They seem to be pleased with it enough to keep giving him this money. I don't understand where this hate's coming from. I enjoy the Omaha videos. I see them a lot. I don't have a problem with them. I think it's great. I watch him and his brother on the couch hanging out, talking to people that come on there. I much rather enjoy that than the regular Monday night, whatever new 3 people they have this year doing Monday Night Football. That
Okay, can I just be clear about something? You disagree with my take, and that's fine, but it's not a ridiculous take. I was pretty well reasoned with it. I gave a lot of examples of why I felt it. It's not a ridiculous take. Like saying it's a ridiculous take completely minimizes it. You're fine to go ahead and disagree with it, and I appreciate you for coming for the counterpoint, but I don't, I mean, like, that's just, it's not a ridiculous take. It's just something you disagree with.
Right. You don't like the Manning cast, dude? I love the Manning cast.
I don't think it's a lot of hard work, and I would much rather watch a traditional broadcast. I would much rather Peyton Manning be sitting in the booth with a experienced play-by-play man and talking about all of the plays that are happening instead of bringing on Snoop Dogg to talk to him during a 3rd and 6.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't like the guests, but like him.
That's the whole thing. I brought up the cameos constantly. That's the whole thing. That's all he's doing. He's doing the show where he goes and talks to the celebrities. Would you want to hear him do the Olympics pregame? That was fabulous. That was excellent use of Peyton Manning. Like, I don't understand. Chris is absolutely right. He's entitled to do whatever he wants, but I'm entitled to say that if he's going to play in the media sphere, which he is, do it correctly and not half-assed.
I don't think when you watch the Manning cast, he is so into it. Like, he's more into it than Eli is. I don't think he really wants the guests on. I think
Eli doesn't know where he is, though, just for the record.
Eli's hilarious.
Williams, I bet you get pretty excited when you're sitting around watching football on Sunday afternoon. Like, I'm not surprised that he's excited sitting on his couch watching football at his own house. I'm really not surprised that he's excited about that.
I'm saying that I think ESPN is bringing on the guests. And like, I think that's the worst part of it. Like, they can have one guest on, don't have like 4, because I think what Eli and Peyton do is gold, man. I think it's gold. Like, Peyton's so into the game, man. Like, his knowledge is top notch with Brady. I think Brady's going to be awesome too, man. So I don't know. I love the Manning cast.
I hate having to give kudos to Tom Brady, but just as I see it, I mean, we all love John Madden. John Madden launched a video game franchise, and John Madden did the work. He was the lead guy for Fox. You know what I mean? All the time. Like, like, I just do the work if you want to play in the media sphere. That's all I got to say. But apparently it's a ridiculous take.
A year ago, and maybe it was even a year and a half ago, you were giving a raw donation to Tom Brady for holding jobs hostage from other guys already working in the booth because you didn't know if he was going to retire or not, and he was holding up the process for real broadcasters. He was on your raw donation. Now all of a sudden he's doing it the right way.
Is he working? Is he broadcasting the game on Sunday? And was my take before where I was mad at him because he wasn't actually working and he was? I mean, I don't understand. So every take I make is a sliding scale. I can't talk about one particular situation involving one person and then another time talking about a different situation involving the same person. I wasn't aware of that.
I'm just saying, it seems like a little bit of a double standard.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting right now, and I'm not going to say who's mommy and who's daddy in this case. Williams,
yeah,
I have a question for you right now. What quarterback this week is going to have the most passing yards? Tell me right now.
Oh, man. I think it could be Jared Goff.
There you go. Jared Goff is your Williams out of nowhere pick. Let's see how he does on that one.
There we go. Jimmy is clearly signaling we need to get out of the football. So
yeah, because it's kind of scary right now, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to Williams and thank you. I appreciate all the work that you put in this week, Mr. Williams. We will have you back next week. We will find out if you went over 3 1-2, 2-1, 3-0, because that's how records work. It'll be a phenomenal deal next week. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Chris, final word goes to you.
Goodbye, Internet.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. In the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. Rod, what are you hot about tonight?
I'm mad that LA Knight didn't win the NXT title. I'm mad. That's what's still making me mad. I'm mad that maybe LA Knight's gonna, not LA Knight, excuse me,
Wow.
Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Say his name and he appears, except if you don't say his name. I like Joe Hendry not winning it yet. I think it's going to make it even better when he does. And I thought that was it was an all right ending. They didn't really have that many interference endings throughout the night. So I thought that was okay. But Chris, you still haven't watched Joe Hendry, have you?
No.
Okay. Rod, we're not going to talk to Chris about this one. I cannot get over how awesome everything about him is. Have you come around, though, on his wrestling?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
All
not.
right.
I continue to think it's ridiculous that he has the standing ovation choke slam. Under no circumstances is somebody his size.
He's not
should be
big
doing
enough
a
to do
choke
that.
slam.
He really isn't.
I don't get it. I love that he'll still pull the whip around move in the ring, right? But that's not a wrestling move. So no, I've not come around on his wrestling skill. But you know me, I'm all about the show and the charisma, and he definitely has it.
There is I believe it was in TNA when he tag teamed with the Hardy Boys.
Really?
And they had a new video. You can YouTube it where it's say his name and he appears, Joe Henry. I believe, and then it was Matt Hardy, and I believe in Jeff Hardy. Oh, it was awesome.
I'm ready.
And I can't wait till Chris eventually gets to see Joe Henry on the main roster because he's still a TNA talent, and I think that program is going very, very well for them. Chris, give me an old man take.
Ich möchte mich bei dem tollen deutschen Publikum am veganen Wochenende bedanken. Die ganze Welt sah die Leidenschaft und Liebe der Deutschen für das Wrestling. Ihre Gesänge und Lieder waren wirklich interessant, wichtig wie die Action im Ring. Vielen Dank von uns alle bei Yeah We Know.
We know what you said. Everyone knows what you said. Drew McIntyre got screwed over. Drew McIntyre got screwed over. Drew McIntyre got screwed over. How could Drew McIntyre get screwed over? He is such a good guy, and he got screwed over. Rod, is that the gist of it? I know you're up on German.
I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been up on my Deutschland there, but I think it's a safe bet, though, Jimmy, by you to think that something about Drew McIntyre was coming out of our fanboy over there.
Yeah, Chris, what the hell was that?
No, it was a thank you to, once again, a foreign crowd really showing how much love they have for wrestling with the chants, the songs. We see it over, we talk about it, and it was just a thank you to the German fans.
Okay, Chris, you just did more work on this episode than you do on any of our draft episodes. So thank you. Really appreciate that. That was good. Yes, the German fans came out in force. Let's get to that the main event with Gunther and Randy Orton. It was like face versus face for a while. Orton goes down. That sleeper hold is pretty tough, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know if I enjoyed that ending, though, I guess. I don't know. I have a problem with the sleeper in wrestling. I'd much rather see someone take a hit or take a bump from a top rope or something like that. Haluga kick, a choke slam, something more than just a sleeper. Sleeper to me is still a little bit of a slow end. I don't know if you should end a show like that.
Chris, you are absolutely right. The sleeper is terrible, but that's why it's awesome for Gunther, because he's basically getting over more as a heel by constantly doing the sleeper and making all of us fans mad, because he knows that we all love him, right? He knows that we all say you're never going to get a bad match with Gunther. We love him going out there slapping people and redding up their chests, right? So what does he got to do? He's got to break extra bad on us, right? He's got to call us trash. He's got to put himself off as he's better than everybody. You know what I mean? He's got to do all of those terrible things. And on top of it, he's even got to give you an end to a match that he knows is going to drive wrestling Twitter crazy. Jimmy, what do you think of that take?
It's the only thing I can think of that makes sense for the sleeper because Gunther had a really good finisher. He had that awesome power bomb that he did. He's got the chops going. He can do anything he wants. And the sleeper, I kind of agree, which is weird. I kind of agree with Chris a little here, where it is a little too slow and a little too old school for me. Chris, it would be just like normal school for you, obviously. But Rod, I do like your take though, because yes, we do love Gunther. But what do we hate? That finish. Why don't we put it together and see what happens? So I think that more heat will come off of that. So good call on that for sure. Orton it was a good match overall. A couple hard hits in there. Love the RKO out of nowhere as well.
Does it make you believe more or less that we're going to see Orton with another number added to it, Jim? Does it make you believe more or less that match, or should we not even judge anything off of that match?
I think we're going to see another Orton anyway. I don't know that match notwithstanding. I just think it was a transitional. We're in a lot of transitional phases right now in our world championship picture, and that isn't good. It looks like, and I'm just gonna go on because that was a good transition, Rod. Thank you. It looks like we're going to eventually have a CM Punk Gunther matchup, which I know Rod is chomping at the bit to watch, but it kind of makes sense if we go to the Hell in a Cell and CM Punk finally goes over against Drew McIntyre. So he finally defeats that villain. Then he can go to the ultimate villain with a Gunther, Rod. I don't know. Do you like that at all?
I got more respect for Phil than I did before. All right. The last match I saw him wrestle, the strap match there with Drew McIntyre, was a very, very good match. Right. I like that. And then I liked the spot that they did the next night, right, with the beads in the mouth and like completely just getting destroyed by McIntyre again.
Gross.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know where those were?
I gotta also admit though that like I fast forwarded through the beginning of just Punk parading around the room doing his Punk thing there in the ring. So I mean, like, and I stopped in just in time to see Drew come out and get to the real business. Like I don't need CM Punk like just playing up for the roar of the crowd. As much as I love it out of my guy Seth Rollins, I don't want to see it out of CM Punk.
Yeah, we don't want to hear Chris. You don't like any of that music, the singing the music or anything, do you? All right, go ahead. Drew McIntyre, he's great.
I mean, I will say this, that Punk at least has music I've heard before.
Well, I mean, it's a real song, Chris.
But beyond that, no. Listen,
he can play big band Roger Miller, and you've heard that song before. I mean, that's just not even fair.
I was going to say you're like 60 when that song came out, so I'm surprised you knew.
So, if Gunther's supposed to be a heel, what am I supposed to do?
I don't think there's supposed to be about it. Gunther's definitely a heel.
Yeah.
If it's going to be Punk versus Gunther, I am rooting for Gunther. Like, I don't like Punk. Like, there's nothing that he's done to make me impressed, all right? I don't see why or how he's done anything to call himself the best in the world yet. I've essentially only seen him wrestle one person, and he's only really beat him fairly once. So it's hard for me to really take this guy seriously yet.
I wish there was a wins and the losses too, and a completely
it's amazing, Chris. You make this show, I'm not saying that to be an ass. You do. I wish there was a way that we could somehow have you watch an old CM Punk match. We got to figure it out. Maybe something like stream it over airwaves or something. I don't know. We'll
you got an old VHS tape I can throw in, and I could maybe watch it that way.
I'll get with the Wyatt 6 immediately and see if they can dispatch a few your way.
There we go.
We have Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. It is what it is, Rod. And I
don't want to talk about any of this, Jimmy. What do you know about the contract? That's what I want to know. Was this the last time we're going to see Kevin Owens for a little while?
I hope not. I don't think he signed yet, so we'll see where that goes. But I would hate to see Kevin Owens go somewhere else because I would be forced to watch even more wrestling, and I don't have the time to do that, Rod. Please have him sign.
Listen, I love KO too, but I'm not. If he goes to the janitor league, I'm not watching it.
You're done with
burn somebody's house down. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, that was the cowboy who did that, and that was something. Yeah, there was a house burned down for sure. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa. I don't think that's going to be next. I think they're going to wait till Survivor Series on that one. So we've got to figure out what to do.
Why doesn't he get the Viper, Jimmy? Why we keep setting Randy Orton up as a face? Because he just has to be because the
Yeah,
crowd
but
loves him so much?
if Orton goes against Rhodes, then that's back-to-back losses in championship matches. What do you do then?
Why does he have to lose to Rhodes? Why do you continue to have to make a soft landing for your boy Cody Rhodes, Jimmy?
Because he
Let
needs
the
to lose the
Viper kill
bloodline.
somebody. Let the Viper kill somebody finally. Let it
He
be
need-
Rhodes.
See, Chris is with
Wow.
me now. Chris is with me now.
Wait. Chris and
Cody
Rod are
Rhodes is-
agreeing on something,
Yeah,
so
listen,
that must
it's
be right.
possible. People can argue for a second and then turn around the next minute and be friends, Jimmy. It's absolutely amazing. And it only
Yeah,
gets weird when
and-
somebody makes it seem worse than it actually is. That's what happens.
And you're the only delusional one that seems to think that Cody still has something to finish for some reason out there, and there's nothing that he's really doing to keep us watching him. So let him get destroyed by a legend killer.
It's ridiculous. He's so boring. He's so boring. I almost want to fast forward when Cody Rhodes comes on WWE TV. And I'm sorry, but your belt holder, your undisputed champion, probably shouldn't be somebody I want to fast forward through.
Well, it looks like he needs to get beaten then and have something to go after. So the legend killer could do that. The bloodline could do that as well. I don't know. I think it's going to be.
Aren't we going to have a Roman versus Solo control the bloodline story coming up here soon anyway? Like, are we going to see Roman bring Jay and Jimmy back? Is that going to happen? Like,
Keyword in there, Roman. I don't care what match it is, have Roman involved. That's the key word, Chris.
Well, if Roman may not wrestle again this year. You never know. You never know with Roman.
Come on, Tribal Chief, let's go. I acknowledge you. I spend all of my time on this podcast acknowledging you, acknowledging Charlotte Flair, acknowledging Seth Rollins, now acknowledging Joe Hendry. Come on, Tribal Chief.
It's the only thing that I can understand that would happen with this story. And other than that, like, I'm not that invested in the bloodline. I've railed against it, but like, I don't see any other way on this storyline unless you, with your ultimate knowledge, does.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what it is, Chris. I'm sorry. I think that's what's going to happen.
Chris sets him up for a podcast gold moment. He sets him up. Your ultimate knowledge. The ball right there.
What it is.
68 mile an hour right in the middle of the plate. And Jim Riska swinging a miss.
Shocking. Jim struck out on something.
He really bunted that one.
You know who didn't strike out?
Williams no sell right there. Like Chris, he basically.
You know who didn't strike out is Rhea Ripley and her pretzel pin on Liv Morgan. Chris, you picked that one right. Good job, bud.
Yeah. Hey, every once in a while,
you kind of dominated us. Yeah, you did a good job on those picks. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looked like that they were doing a lot of fan service at this place, so like I think that maybe that's where I was able to benefit a little bit.
If by fan service you mean boring, then yes, you absolutely described the clash at the Bash in Berlin.
I really would like to see Liv and Rhea make it to Royal Rumble for their title match, but I don't know if that can happen, and that stinks because that would be awesome to see.
We got to keep Rhea climbing.
I hope so. I really do. That would be. Can you imagine Lucas Oil Stadium when Rhea wins? Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I'd love to imagine it, Jim. I'd love to manifest it and make it happen. And Rhea Ripley is probably the biggest star going in the WWE since Roman Reigns refused to wrestle.
It's also kind of
went back to TNA. Since Joe Hendry went back to TNA, that really left a void for somebody that works in the WWE.
They've really stretched this out too, because there is literally no reason why Liv and Rhea haven't been into the ring together yet. So they are really stretching this out.
Because every time they're in the ring together, Rhea Ripley has to absolutely dominate her, right? They have to keep them from actually fighting because Liv can't beat her.
Yeah, well,
Chris, how was your first strap match?
No one could beat her except Charlotte Flair. Come back, Charlotte.
Oh no, my first strap match was Drew versus Karrion Kross.
Oh, you're right. How was your first actual real good strap match?
Look out! Shots fired at Karrion Kross, who we normally defend on this podcast.
Hey, listen, I've tried.
I know, you're right. There's that ultimate knowledge.
There's times in this match where you're like, okay, listen, you can walk to that other corner right now. What are you guys doing? And that gets
they were just making the rules up as we go, Jimmy. Come on.
They kind of were Michael Cole, and they didn't know. That was hilarious. They can't do that. Well, yeah, actually, he can do that.
But we've never had a strap match before where like I'm gonna hit it and then I'm gonna hit it. You know what I mean? Like that's never. You can't do that. That's not how they work.
Yes, it is. You can 100% do that.
No,
I've been told by both of you that it's the WWE and they can essentially do whatever they want
course they
whenever
can.
they want.
But you also care about wins and losses.
But they also seem to have also pushed this thing recently where what the ref says in the ring is the final say. So I also don't know what goes on
Here,
there.
yeah, of course. Back to
I
the ref
I
limit.
also think there needs to be some more inquiries into what the medical staff does and doesn't do for the WWE because I don't think Braun Strowman was
Yeah.
medically cleared, but
I don't
somehow
think there's OSHA guidelines for the
Braun Strowman
WWE.
did die last week. You are correct.
But like, so he's still able to get in the ring and wrestle, but Adam Pearce then keeps Drew from wrestling because of a mysterious elbow thing. Like, it's just all kind of weirdness to me, and that's why we need to get some more structure and
Chris, there's a
things going in
rule.
the WWE.
The minute you put the kinesiology, the kinesiologist, whatever they call that tape, that tape, the minute you put that on your body, you're wrestling, right? Like, so that's once Braun put that on his body, he was wrestling. That's just a rule. If you have that stuff on, it's just a giant target for your opponent, and you will be getting in the ring at some point that evening.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, you got to give it to him because that was a hellacious bump he took the week before, and that's still come out.
Bronson Reed's hot. He's probably like the 7th, 8th most important wrestler in the WWE right now. Congratulations to him after being like 45th for a good time.
Yeah,
so, you know.
and the sickness kind of sucks, and that really sucks that he had to miss Raw. Hey, Cargill and Belair champions. Let's go, Chris. Again, excellent work.
Yeah, well, did we really? I didn't expect the other two to have the title for a long time anyway. We knew they were still pushing Jade. So, like, yeah. And of course, who doesn't want to root for two of the most badass wrestlers on the circuit right now?
I don't. Mega powers explode. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready for a fight. Royal Rumble, let's have that there. Yeah, it'll be WrestleMania.
See, now Jimmy's trying to fan service his own personal experience. There's a lot of weird.
Yeah, I'm fantasy booking. Let's go.
When do those tickets go on sale, or have they already?
Actually, they should be around October last year is when they went on sale. So look out for that. Raw, real quick here. I did not get a chance to see it, so I want your reactions for Raw. But first of all, Sami Zayn going after Gunther's World Championship. So you lose your belt, you automatically get to go up to the next belt. Is that how it goes, Rod?
Only if you're Sami Zayn and you get that kind of a crowd pop, right? Like, we needed something on Raw, right? We had Joe Tessitore. First time we've mentioned his name, right, Jimmy? But I guess you haven't seen it, so you can't give me.
I just literally watched the first like 10 minutes of it, and then I watched the Sami Zayn segment.
I thought Tessitore did fine, right? Like, he didn't do anything egregiously bad in his first time out. So, like, I think he'll be fine. I think he's got the gravitas. I think he gets the assignment. I think he's a professional broadcaster, so I think he'll be fine. But I thought Raw was a much better entertaining program than even Bash in Berlin was. So I like Raw. A lot of the same old, not no Charlotte Flair return, which I will continue to hope for. No Seth Rollins return, which I will continue to hope for every show. But overall, I liked it.
Speaking about mega powers, Chris, we had a 3 yeet, didn't we? With
we gotta slow down for a second because Gunther was right. All right, Gunther set a record with the Intercontinental belt. That's why he got to move up to challenge for the heavyweight title. Sammy didn't necessarily elevate that Intercontinental belt, did he? Gunther was right. Sammy didn't elevate that. Sammy probably doesn't deserve to get that step up yet.
I didn't want any Sammy slander, Jimmy, and so I was trying to move past it, and then Chris had to double back there to get his shots in.
Well, Chris is a fan first. We had the 3 yeets as I was getting to. I thought it was pretty cool with Jay and what are they calling themselves now? Rhea and Priest.
Wasn't it the Twin Tower Terrors or something like that?
Tower of Terror. There you go. I thought that was a pretty cool segment. I did get a chance to look at that. But otherwise, Chris, what did you think of Raw?
Yeah, listen, I will miss being able to listen to Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on Raw. That was a big selling point for me at the very beginning when I got back into wrestling. So I'm a little bit going to miss Pat McAfee being there every night, but I am kind of looking forward to Michael Cole on SmackDown. SmackDown's making a move to USA. It's going to be live, I believe, on Friday nights now. So I'm kind of excited for this change, right? Or is it just going to be live this Friday?
No, it's been live for a while on Fridays.
Okay.
I mean, they have tape every now and then, but yeah, it's still live on Fridays. And then Raw goes to the USA or goes to Netflix in January, I believe.
Here's basically, Chris, they'll do a taped SmackDown before the Dubai premium live events is usually what will happen, right? But then the other foreign premium live events, they'll have the SmackDown live in like the same venue. You know what I mean? We've seen that numerous times, but they only do the one show in Dubai because they only want to take so much heat for taking all that money.
I was going to say that makes sense because I know the Berlin SmackDown was also tape delayed as well.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the time difference and all that. So,
and with that, you have been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan You Know's podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris.
You come to us for understanding of time zones between countries, right? We may have this mask of talking about wrestlings, but wrestling. But really, what you want from us is time zone talk and the Greenwich Mean Line, right? I believe it's the Greenwich Mean Line. Somebody check me on that.
Oh, that's correct. Goodbye, Nick. Yeah.